Whenever you're running some sort of application, there needs to be some information that's processed in order for the application to run properly. So how does a coding language like Python store information? Python and many other languages use data structures. And there's a lot of different kinds of data structures, but in this video, I'm only gonna go through the three basic ones: lists, sets, and tuples. And in the end, I'm gonna give you a 5-question multiple choice quiz that tests you on all the concepts covered in this video and also the other videos in this playlist. So if you haven't checked out the previous videos, make sure to do that right now. All right, let's get right into it. Okay, let's talk about lists. A list is an ordered and mutable sequence that contains multiple items in a single variable. And you represent a list with square brackets. So because lists are ordered, it means that the order of the elements have meaning. And so I could access these elements by using zero-based indexing. So if I have a list called stuff and it has a bunch of random things, then if I wanted to get the first element of the list, in this case 6, then I can say stuff, and then inside square brackets next to it, I can pass in 0. And the reason why I created this example with a bunch of random things is because I wanted to show you how lists can store different data types. That's a really important thing to know. Another important thing to know is that lists are mutable. And so that means we can make changes to it, and we can add and remove elements. And so if I wanted to add the string hello world to our list called stuff, then I can just say stuff.append, and then inside parentheses, I pass in hello world. And .append is an in-place method. And that means that it's going to directly affect the original list. So we don't have to reassign all of our new information to another list. There's a lot more methods you can do with lists, but I can't cover them because I want to keep this video short. So I'm gonna put a video up on the right hand corner, if you see it over there somewhere. It's gonna talk more about arrays in data structure and algorithms. A little bit more advanced, but if you want something more advanced, then that's the video for you. And I'll also put a link for more list methods in the description below, so you can check it out on your own time. All right, with that being said, let's move on to the second data structure. Sets are similar to lists because you can store different kinds of items in a single variable and they're mutable. But the main difference between lists and sets is that the items in a set are unordered and unchangeable. So I can't access an item in a set using the same bracket notation I did with lists. Okay, so let's say that we have a set called fruits, and it has 3 items in it: apples, bananas, and oranges. And you can also see that to create a set, you have to represent it with curly braces. And each time I display the set, then the items are going to appear in different orders because the order doesn't matter. And I can't access an item in a set using the same bracket notation I did with lists. So if I say fruits and then pass in square brackets and then say 0, it's not going to work out. Also, the current items in the set themselves cannot be changed, but you could still add or remove items using certain specific set methods. And duplicates are not allowed. If I have apples twice, then only the unique values in the set are going to be printed out. And let me show you a more complicated example. So this set is called stuff, and inside it has 1, true, false, and hello. And in this case, 1 and true are treated as duplicates because in programming, the boolean true represents the value 1. So Python sees them as equivalent. And so it's only going to return the first value that's inside the set when you created it, which in this case is 1. And so 1 is going to be printed, but true will not. And a useful method that a lot of people use with sets is called the length method. And to use it in Python, you just say len, and then you pass in the set, and it's going to return the number of elements or items in the sequence. So if I had a set that says apples, apples, and apples, the length is only going to be 1 because Python doesn't recognize the duplicate values in that set. Okay, I hope you're kind of seeing similarities and differences between lists and sets, because it's important to recognize these similarities and differences because it'll help you understand the data structures better. And so just keep that in mind as I talk to you, as I teach you the third and final data structure in this video. Okay, so the last data structure I'm going to talk about is tuples, and you can create it by wrapping the items around with parentheses. And it's really similar to lists and sets because you can store multiple values in a single variable. And like lists, the items in tuple are ordered, and you can have duplicate values. So let's say I have an example called stuff and has 4 or 5 elements: apples, hello, true, 5, and 5. And I can access the second element of this tuple similar to lists using bracket notation. So I just say stuff, and inside brackets I pass in 1 to get hello. And 5 is still going to be displayed twice if I were to print this tuple out, because duplicate values are allowed. And like sets, the items in tuple are unchangeable. So if for some reason I wanted to change the second element to buy by saying stuff1 equal to buy, it won't let me. But the main difference for tuples that's not shown in lists, not shown in sets, is that it's immutable. So this means that I can't add or remove items to the original tuple object. So for example, if I wanted to change the length of a tuple, then I gotta create a new tuple for that. And so here's some code. Let's say I have an original tuple. It has 3 elements, 1, 2, 3, and I have a new tuple that has 4 and 5. If I wanted to have a tuple that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I can't just update the original tuple by saying 1, 2, 3 plus and then 4, 5, because the original tuple that I created in the first line, that can't be changed. So I have to use the addition operator, but then I have to reassign that to a new tuple. In this case, it's called updated tuple, and it's going to be equal to whatever is inside original tuple plus whatever is inside the new tuple. That's going to change the length. You have to reassign the elements in the tuple to another tuple. So here's a quick summary of all the 3 basic data structures that were covered in this video. So first is lists, and the properties of lists are that it's mutable, ordered, changeable, and duplicates are allowed. The second one was sets, and its properties are that it's mutable, unordered, unchangeable, and duplicates are not allowed. And last but not least, we talked about tuples, and they're immutable, ordered, unchangeable, and duplicates are allowed. Alright, now I want to give you a 5-question quiz, multiple choice, and it's going to test your knowledge on everything covered in this video. So make sure to pause the video before I give the answer explanation. Alright, question 1. Which of the following Python data structures allows you to change its contents after creation? The correct answer is D, because lists and sets are mutable while tuples are not. Okay, number 2. What's the output of this code? The correct answer is B, because lists are ordered and use 0 base indexing. Question 3. What is not true about sets in Python? The correct answer is B. Sets do not allow duplicates, but all of the other statements about sets are true. Question 4. Which data structure would best store coordinates that should not change, like their x and y positions, for example? The right answer is C. This is because tuples are immutable and ordered, and it makes them perfect for storing fixed pairs of values, like coordinates. Alright, last but not least, question 5. What's the result of this code? The correct answer is B, because the length of the set is 3, and Apple is only counted once, because sets only store unique values. Alright, I hope you found this video helpful. If you want to see the next video in this playlist, then click on this video over here. It's going to be on dictionaries. But if that video is not out then you make sure to check this video over here, which is big O notation. And yeah, hopefully I see you in one of those videos. And thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.